hain, do, tree, car. Fáilte Arash, welcome back. It's Misha Danny. I'm Danny.
And I'm Danielle.
It's Mission Nora, and it's wonderful to have you back in this second video. In the first video, I taught you an Irish language song called Nakanawan Wana.
And in this video, I'm going to teach you a dance. Now this dance is a jig. The song was a slip jig, so they're very similar, but they're a little bit different, and Nora's going to tell us how they're different.
So this is a jig. So jigs are in 6/8, which is kind of like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2.
And this jig is a little bit similar to the song, right, Danny?
Yeah, there's a lot of tunes and songs and dances in Irish music, and a lot of them are very old, and over time they a tune could be like a really slow lament, maybe for someone who died or something like that, and it becomes a dance tune, and it becomes a funny song in a different part of the country. You get all these different versions of the same piece of music, and this song exists as a tune in a couple of different variations of the melody and as a song, and so does the one that we looked at in the first video.
And just like there are different versions of tunes, there are also different styles of music playing around Ireland, and there are different styles of dancing around Ireland. Now, before the 1900s, there were a lot of old regional styles, and some of them kind of developed organically, and some of them were created by Irish dancing masters. Now, the Irish dancing masters traveled around a region of Ireland, usually on a horse or a donkey, and oftentimes with a musician, with a fiddler usually, or a piper, an uilleann piper. And they would teach people how to dance wherever they went, and people would feed them and put them up, and they'd clear out a barn, which was like the best place to dance, a nice trampled down floor by all the cows, horses, sheep.
All those guys.
All those guys.
Yeah.
And so the dancing master would teach these steps. And we've got some wonderful old accounts of actual dancing masters and finding out what they taught and what they did. And there's dance moves called sprig and flourish and cover the buckle and upset and curl. Mm-hmm. And we don't know what those dance moves are anymore because all we have is just the word. We don't have videos of them. This is a couple hundred years ago. But we do have some of the actual old steps from these dancing masters. So I'm going to teach you 2 parts because a lot of Irish tunes have 2 parts, including this jig. And we're going to play this jig 1A and 1B. So I'm going to teach you a little thing to do in the A part and a little thing to do in the B part. So the first thing we're going to do is just standard trebles. Now this is fun because this is a dance move that you can find in all of the percussive dance forms. In American tap dancing, in Cape Breton step dancing, in Appalachian clogging, and in Irish dancing. So a treble is called a treble because it has 3 beats, which is why it works really well with a jig. And the way that Nora gave us the downbeat in the slip jig, we can get a downbeat in the jig. Would you 2 play us? What is the jig called again?
Páidín Ó Rafferty.
Páidín Ó Rafferty. Would you play Páidín Ó Rafferty a couple of times? And I'm going to just take you with that downbeat, and we're going to find our downbeat.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, that was great. So if the downbeat is where you can start, that's where you should start. If you want to try something a little trickier, you can add the 2 and the 3. So we were just dancing the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the 2 and the 3 is almost like just a kick. Out, in, out, in. Or you might go up, down, depending on how it works for your body. So you can go 1, out, in, 1, out, in. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, if you feel comfortable with that, Danny, actually, will you show us, if you're not quite comfortable with that yet, will you go ahead and just stick with the steps? Nora, will you stick with the kick and out? And then if you're comfortable with either of those, you can try touching your toe or your heel on the ground and actually make 2 beats.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you do the tapping with your toes or with your heel?
That's a great question. Well, you can do both. Now, some Irish dancers and percussive dancers stay down in their heels, and some go up on their toes. And that's a stylistic thing. And when you go out, you might do your heel on the way out or your toe. And when you come back, you'd usually always do your toe. You ready? Mm-hmm. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Step, kick, kick, step, kick, kick, step, kick, kick. Gotti. Beautiful. Hey, good job, you guys. All right, so that's going to be our dance move for the second half of the tune. Now, our dance move for the first half is going to be one of the moves that was taught by the dancing masters. Oh, wow. And it's a very basic jig step that pretty much every Irish dancer knows how to do. And I bet you two have done this before, I'm guessing. Now, it starts out with, it's a series of jumps. So the first jump is you put one foot out in front of you. And then the second jump, you lift your knee a little bit. And then the third jump, you take that front leg and you hide it behind. And then you do a little dance. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you use the same exact foot every time. So you're gonna go jump out and up and hide, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna do that 3 times in a row. Can we try that with the tune nice and slow? Dee-dee-dee-dee, here we go. Jump and back 2 more times. One more time. And now watch this. All right, so there was our A part. So that last bit I call crisscross applesauce. So we do 3 jig steps. That's called the rising step. And then in the end, you just go criss and cross and applesauce. And you can hear the jig even in that crisscross. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. All right, let's try putting all of those steps together. Of course, you can pause this video and practice those moves as many times as you want to. I know for me, it took me a lot of time, days, months, years, maybe even to get really comfortable. So give yourself a few days or dance along with us now and just see what you can do. So Danny and Nora, will you play the tune, the A part and then the B part slowly, and then keep going and play it at a medium pace and keep going, and we'll see if we can keep up with you at a faster pace.
All right.
Okay, 3 times through. Will you count us in, Danny, in Irish?
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now crisscross. Here come the trebles. Back to the beginning, a little faster. Here we go. Last time, a little faster. Here we go. Great job, everybody. Okay, so now I think Danny and Nora, should we go ahead and do one big set with the slip jig from the first video and then the jig here, and I'll dance and you'll sing and you'll play?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So I just want to make one last point before we do this. You learned slip jig rhythm in the last video, and you have everything you need now to dance a slip jig. Because a jig is 2 3s. A slip jig is just 3 3s. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. You want to clap?
Sure. Remember this? And a 1 and a 2 and a 3.
And of course, if you're still working on getting the treble part, 1 and a 2 and a 3.
So you can dance along with the first song, or you could sing along like the way that I taught it to you in the first video.
And if you missed our previous video that Danielle just mentioned, go check it out and learn the song. Nora goes through the lyrics and we talk about the Irish language as well, and you'll be all set to join in and have fun with us on this last piece.
Got 'em hen, got 'em hen, got 'em hen, got 'em hen, make a list moira. Got 'em hen, got 'em hen, got 'em hen, shinny na canna wan wana. Got 'em hen, got 'em hen, got 'em hen, got 'em hen, make a list moira. Got 'em hen, got 'em hen, got 'em hen, shinny na canna wan wana. Cuddy me, cuddy me, cuddy me, cuddy me, so six I yonder. Cuddy me, cuddy me, cuddy me, Scotty she booties a downard. Cuddy me, cuddy me, cuddy me, cuddy me, so six I yonder. Cuddy me, cuddy me, cuddy me, Scotty she booties a downard.
Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us.
Thanks for dancing.
Thank you for singing along with me. And you are a part of the Irish tradition if you love this music. And so if you want to learn more, you can come to the Centre for Irish Music in St. Paul. And we are at a place called the Celtic Junction Arts Centre that has concerts. But at the Centre for Irish Music, we teach flute, we teach fiddle, we teach all sorts of Irish instruments. So come join us and be a part of this beautiful music.
Slán.
Slán.
Hain. Do. Tree. Car.